In this episode of Between the Bears and the Bulls, we've got a very special guest from way up north, and I don't mean Canada. We're sitting down with none other than Santa Claus himself. That's right. The CEO of the North Pole is here to talk cookies, coal, supply chain, and maybe even a little inflation. We'll find out what it's really like to be the chief executive officer running the world's most magical enterprise. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the show. Santa, welcome to Between the Bears and the Bulls. I am so excited that you were able to join us today.
Thank you, Christopher.
Thank you very much. We caught you on your a day off.
There's no such thing.
Okay, so you said something before we started filming, and you talked about spring training.
It is.
So what exactly is entailed in spring training?
This is the time of year when we report to camp.
Okay.
Because here at the end of September, beginning of October, it's festival season.
Right.
People are starting to think about family, get-together, plane tickets, all of that sort of thing, which, of course, affects supply chain, which, of course, affects travel schedules.
Right.
Which, of course, affects over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house we go. And it's all tied into what we do. So, you know, this isn't, for my part,
Right.
you know, to be perfectly honest with you, when you are listening to the hopes and dreams of children intensely for 2 or 3 or 4 months, you need a break afterwards.
Right.
Because some of them are quite profound, and it's a lot.
Yeah,
As I've heard them say, it's a lot. So you kind of take a break, and you come back, and you refresh, recharge, and get after it.
I love it. So I've got to tell you, so in my mind, when I was thinking of Santa, is this your everyday kind of spring training? When do you wear the suit? Is the suit just for one night, or is the suit...
Have you ever seen an astronaut walking down the street in his spacesuit? No.
Great point.
And
point.
and frankly, you know, to me, it's always seemed that the point of Santa should be, in some regards, to be almost a silent observer.
Right. Okay.
It's hard to be silent when you're wearing bright red, you know, but I do want the name of your tailor. And that's glorious. It's glorious. And you think to yourself, okay, wait a minute. Can I make a splash, or can I come in a little bit more...
Right.
Not quite as hot.
Yes.
And frankly, it's much more comfy. I mean, especially in Texas. Oh, my goodness,
You know?
here. I mean, if I had been Stephen F. Austin, I would have turned around and gone back to Tennessee. It's hot here.
It is very warm.
And listen, where I grew up, it was warm. I mean,
Yes.
my town of Myra there on the coast of the Mediterranean, you know, was warm. I mean, it was hot, but it was not like this.
This is another...
No. I mean, I'd enjoy it here. The people are wonderful. They're friendly. They're delightful. They're helpful. They love each other.
Yes.
Best they can do, they can help each other whenever they have a chance. But woof.
Did you... Okay, and I'm thinking...
It's hot.
It is. It is very hot. And it's not as bad as what it has been here,
No.
you know? And so... But I
remember
ask you,
1980. Listen.
You do.
Yes. That was not just a story to me. You know, you do scouting in this job.
Yeah, well, you have to.
You
right?
have to, because you're invited to a lot of places, and because you have to visit, and so you have to coordinate your schedule and where you're going to show up on this side of the world, that side of the country, and right. And so, you know, I think we moved them to a different department, but I remember we had an assistant who made the mistake of sending me here in August.
Oh, no.
In the heart of August, 1980.
That's no good.
Yeah, well, it wasn't for their future in that department. They moved to it. We put them in R&D, I think. Well, that might have even been the worst. I have no idea. At any rate, it was a funny mix-up, and I thought, okay, you know, and that's when Santa starts looking at, all right, do we have anything that's sweat absorbent?
Exactly.
And we don't.
You don't in the North Pole. You
Not
don't need
then.
it. Now you do.
We've learned.
Okay. You've evolved.
We've definitely adapted, yes.
So when you came, because we're filming here in Fort Worth, Texas, when you go other places, are you getting... Do the Reindeer take you here? Do you fly? How does that work? Are you in first class? Well, how does Santa travel?
Well, it's interesting. You know, the whole concept is not really so much what I am or what we do as so much as how we are seen.
Okay.
How children see us in the mind's eye.
Yes.
Give you a good example of that. In Spain, for instance, Santa is known as Papa Noel.
Okay.
And in Spain, I don't come on reindeer, and I don't come from the North Pole.
Is that right?
That's true. I come on a white Andalusian stallion.
Really?
And I come from the desert.
You're kidding me.
My robes are blue.
Wow.
And the horse's name is Amerigo. And I must tell you, he's a delightful boy.
That's amazing.
He's fantastic. Tell you another little secret. about reindeer, because people always ask me about the reindeer.
Yeah, of course.
First of all, reindeer are one of the few, if I'm not sure, maybe the only creature on God's green earth that can change its eye color.
Really? Why would they need to change
In the
their eye
summer,
color?
they don't need to see in ice and snow and white. So during the winter, it turns blue, just like a Polaroid sunglasses lens.
No way.
Their feet get bigger and smaller depending on the time of year to cushion themselves on top of thick snow or harder surfaces. And so they adapt like that. They love lichens. Lichens absorb ultraviolet light. So reindeer can see in the UV index. You've seen the movie Predator?
Oh, yes.
That's how a reindeer sees.
Interesting.
Yeah. So me dressed in red, they can't see me. They think I'm in blue. They have no idea that I'm wearing, they don't know. But if they see lichens over there or the trail of a predator, the urine of a wolf,
Really?
or the bear in the woods, they can see that through the trees because they have ultraviolet vision. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
And they
about this,
swim.
Santa.
They're very good swimmers.
They're not.
They are. And so, and if you have a sleigh that floats, depending on
Does
where you
your
need
sleigh
to go.
float?
Depending on where you need to go.
There we go. Good.
Sure.
Very good.
So it's different wherever you go, and that gives them a rest. You get to, and believe me, if you've been riding behind, if you've ever done say a chuck wagon race,
Right.
and you've ridden behind a team of 4 horses, there's a point at which you think, okay, I need a break too. Got tired of looking at that. And reindeer are no different, and after a while, they're ready to sit down for a while. You take the horse, you take the, whatever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you just show up as children want you to be. That's
Right.
what you do. That's what we all are supposed to do. Show up as children need us to be.
That's so cool. Now, do you have, going back to the reindeer, because you brought it up, I don't know if you're allowed to say this, do you have a favorite reindeer?
Oh, my.
Or should we, I know they're all your babies, right?
I love them each for their unique qualities.
Okay.
I mean, they are my therapists.
Yes.
They are trusting, they are kind, they are smart. They can do things, obviously, that I can't do. I need big boots to walk through the snow. They got big fluffy feet. You have to have a hairdresser come instead of a farrier. It's just it's insane. And Prancer, Vixen, they're females. Female reindeer can grow horns because they can grow antlers.
Really?
Yeah. So they're both girls.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I'll give you another thing. Most people don't realize that Rudolph does not actually, and never has lived at the North Pole.
He doesn't live in the North Pole?
In fact, if you really want to know the story that got it closed, it was written for Montgomery Ward department stores back in the 1950s by a gentleman who worked in the ad department.
Okay.
And the story got it right. The story is that I did not meet Rudolph until I was on my rounds, then one stormy night, right? And so it was actually on my rounds that I met him. It was not the reindeer at the North Pole who made fun or, ridiculed him or mocked him when he was little. It was this little circle of friends back home.
You're kidding me.
And so whenever the weather's bad,
right,
I go get him.
So if the weather's good, you don't need him.
He gets to spend it with his family.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but anytime I need him, he's there.
See, they've gotten all the stories have gotten.
Well, think about all the movies where you see him, and then think about all the movies where you don't.
Well, that is true.
That's why.
Okay.
Because sometimes the weather's good, sometimes the weather's bad. It's as simple as that. He's like a pilot in a harbor.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
do too.
I'm learning all
kinds
kinds
of stuff. I do too. He is.
You needed him.
Well, we all need each other.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So I think of you, as a business owner myself, right? So I want to talk a little bit about kind of the way you manage the North Pole, right? Because you're the CEO of the North Pole,
Oh,
right?
no, you haven't met Mrs. Claus. I'm under no illusion as to who is in charge of this operation, my friend. Go ahead.
And that's how you probably have stayed married for how many years?
Yeah, about 375, 76 next year, I think, something like that. And listen, no, really. No, I mean, I from the time I was born, and most people don't know this story, is that when I was very little, my parents died. And they left me their inheritance. And after a while, I realized that the best way I could serve the things that they taught me was to give away all that I had and become a lay minister. And because of that, I eventually became the Bishop of Myra. And it's a long story. It's an involved thing. But I realized I took a vow of poverty. And for a long time, I lived as a priest. I was a bishop. I mean, I was,
Really?
the Council of Nicaea and all that sort of thing, and you're there when the church is writing the rules, trying to get it right. And there were people, I took a swing at one guy in a meeting, and it's no joke. I really did.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Santa taking a swing?
My friend, that's the thing that people don't understand is that part of my history, as I've heard, is that once upon a time there were some bandits outside the village, and I went and found them with an axe.
You're kidding me.
That's what I've been told.
Oh, my. That changes my view
I
of
will neither
Santa.
confirm nor deny it. They had kidnapped some children.
Don't mess with Santa.
They had
Right?
kidnapped some children, and I take a dim view of those people who would steal
good.
our childhoods.
Yes.
So, I took a swing at the guy because he was talking, he was a Gnostic. It was a whole big thing. But anyway, we hashed it out, and we worked it out, had lunch. I'll never forget the place. Best Turkish coffee you ever had in your life. Anyway, so we got it together, and over time, I was so focused on work, and then I realized, I would be better if I depended on others, because really at the very beginning it was only a small village. If some girl got married and didn't have a dowry, it was easy enough to sneak up on the roof and drop the coins down the chimney.
Right.
And if her stockings were hung there to dry from having been outside, guess where they landed? Well, that's how that started.
Oh.
But you could do it in one village, but the bigger it got, the more you depended on other people.
Right.
Which relates to your business.
Right,
Which
exactly.
relates to any business.
God,
Or any community, for that matter.
And it has to be the largest run business, out there, right?
It takes a lot of wheels. Yeah. I always enjoy looking at the photos, when they were moving the Saturn V rocket back in the 60s, and this big platform they had going down the road, and I'm thinking, oh my, whew, that's got a lot of wheels.
Right.
And they've got to be just so.
Exactly.
And anytime they'll start to wobble or get out of shape, well, and that's where, sound business practices, thoughtfulness about human beings and their basic needs and those things, that all comes together in keeping those wheels rolling evenly and getting that rocket down the path.
Amazing. So how many years, because your mission, and maybe you can talk a little bit about the mission statement of the North Pole, right? So whether it's you as a CEO or Mrs. Claus, obviously you have a mission.
Yes,
and
she's the one who keeps me to it.
Okay.
When I tend to forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a mission or mission statement from the North Pole? Obviously we know what you do year in and year out, but why is it that you do what you do?
Well, why is a different question, but as far as a mission statement, I think the mission statement is be slow to speak and quick to listen.
Yes.
I think why is because we're supposed to. And I don't think it's harmful if we do. I think, I've heard people say, oh, my goodness, radio stations play Christmas songs too early. My heavens, word. Well, and what are the songs about? I wish it was Christmas all year long. And well, if somebody tries to actually do that, what happens? They get phone calls and angry emails. It's kind of silly. We talk out of both sides of our mouth. So if we're going to talk about hope and love and joy and peace on earth and goodwill toward all of that sort of thing, I don't see the harm in doing it a little bit more. And by the way, if it helps somebody keep more employees on board, pay them a little bit more next year, give them a little more time off, but better health care. Yeah. Go sing those songs on the radio as early as you want.
Yes, I love it.
What are our priorities? I won't get in the way of listening to the Beach Boys for me, in the middle of July, not one bit.
Is that your go-to, by the way?
They're all go-to.
Okay.
Listen, I've listened to more radio stations around the world than you can possibly imagine.
I bet. Do you have a specific country that you like the radio best from?
That's like asking where's my favorite food or who makes the best cookies.
That was actually one of my next questions.
Well, I'll tell you. To be perfectly honest, I always use that phrase, but there's a fine difference between kinda and okay, if you really want to pin me down.
Right.
If you really want to pin me down, my problem is that I tend to listen to whatever the music is where I'm either going or am.
All right. Okay.
Because I love getting in the mood.
Okay.
If I'm going to Scotland, it's bagpipes, laddie. We're going to be the brave freedom. The whole, I've got it in my head. If I'm going to Japan, it's, it's all of it.
Yes, you got to.
And my favorite, I don't have favorite hot chocolate. My favorite beverage actually happens to be Turkish coffee.
Is that right?
It is.
Okay, all right.
It
So
is.
have I been doing it wrong all these years? Because
No!
you still you
That,
seem
and
to
that's
drink
the
it
thing
every
that
time,
I find
you know?
fascinating is that no, I am not going to argue over which flavor of ice cream you want to give me.
Okay.
If you give me a bowl of ice cream, I don't care.
Okay, you're good. You're
Right.
good.
I mean, why would I?
Right.
Oh, this is not what I wanted.
Yes.
Ugh.
No.
No.
Okay, so any cookie is a good cookie.
You know, if you wanted to say, what's your favorite cookie?
Yes.
My cookie is my favorite cookie.
That is
The one you leave for me, that's my favorite cookie.
That is perfect. I really like that. So I think about, running a business as we talked about, right? And for us here at Beavers Wealth Management, what's so important to us is culture, right? Is creating a positive culture that not only the people who work for Beavers work here, but also all of our clients that we serve feel that culture, right? So my question is, how, Santa, have you been able to create this culture in the North Pole year after year after year? And to me, from outside looking in, it looks to be a very positive culture where you have a lot of buy-in. So you're doing something very well. So congratulations to you and the team. I imagine there's a whole team behind you.
No, yes.
But it starts from the top, right? Culture does.
Oh,
so how are you doing it?
I think it's more of the assemblage of people who have a dream, who have a vision. They've heard something, they've seen something, they want to do something that's different, that stands out, that maybe touches others in a meaningful way, that is real, that isn't for just selling soap or things like that. It's maybe to make a difference. And it's not just an idea of how we can make this work financially, but it's also, to a certain degree, these are my principles. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe in. If you listen to the songs we sing, most of the time the songs have the lyrics that reflect our most deepest held fears, beliefs, whatever, right? But those words mean things. And so when a culture establishes itself, it's like, okay, what are our priorities? If we have those shared priorities, then whatever the fruit of that is going to be from the roots where it's planted. So if you have folks who understand that they're part of a long line of wonderful, created, gifted, talented, unique, irreplaceable individuals whose skills and imaginations are the currency of what we do, and that the institutional knowledge that you possess is indispensable. One thing that amazes me sometimes, and I know it's a difficult decision, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but when you see a company going through layoffs and you think to yourself, are you letting the very people who could help you out of this mess go? Are those the most experienced, the highest paid, most experienced, whatever? Right. And you think to yourself, so we keep our old elves.
Do you?
Oh, you bet. That's why universities have the Chancellor Emeritus.
Right.
Because that's the Master Jedi.
For sure.
Holy moly. And I forget things. I forget how to build a boat to do a jig and all. I mean, to me, it's just, whoop, and I get in trouble for that. Sometimes Mrs. Claus sees me without my goggles or something. And that friend and coworker who has been there for says, you're going to hurt yourself if you do that. Well, they do the same thing when it comes to your investments, when anticipating market trends, whatever it is. Right. That's Dr. McCoy.
Right.
That is Dr. McCoy on Star Trek.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm not firing that man. I'm not letting him go.
And
that. The younger ones who come along are probably going to go, whoo, this is like getting paid to go to school.
So are you saying that, I love this idea of continuing people into the enterprise, even after maybe their functional use is not at the talent level that they were prior, but have you ever had to fire an elf?
Never.
Never
one.
That's amazing.
Never one. No, it's not.
I mean, it's
not. It's not. The biggest problem I've had is making sure they didn't fire me. Because, I walk into work, I walk into the shop, I walk into someplace like that, and I had a child ask me last year, does Santa curse? And I said, I work in a wood shop. What do you think? And she just looked at me and went, I love you, Santa.
That's amazing.
And these are real flesh and blood, and they're just the most, and you look at them, let me show you something. Yes. Every child in the world knows laser measurement. They've seen tape measures and all that sort of thing. Right.
Right.
I learned this from one of my elves.
Okay.
I get more questions about this thing than anything else
Okay.
I have.
Yes.
And the reason I do is because it makes no sense. Wait a minute, it's an accordion. What is it? It's a stick to hit the cat. What do you do with this, Mr. Claus? And I tell him, I said, this is how I decide whether you need a new bicycle.
I love it.
Now, I had a man give me this, I don't know how many years ago. I mean, it used to be, you'd mark it on a stick, and that was your yard stick.
Right.
In the primitive days. And, that was one of the things that attracted me, I think, to the priesthood, was it centered around someone who knew how to take rough stock materials and turn it into a fine piece of furniture fit for a mansion.
That's awesome.
Now, if I could do that and make a train fit for a child,
right?
Whew! As you notice, I say whew as much as I say oh. Anyway, I'm taking up too much. But I mean, this is just crazy.
Pretty cool.
It's crazy, and I love it because it reminds me of the people that I have to live up to. It's the funniest thing. All these people who dress up like Santa Claus, right?
Yes.
People, you've got all these assistants. No. They're not my assistants. They're my examples.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
I'm trying to live up to them.
Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. So I've got to ask you, because these days there's so much on social media, right? I mean, and I've gotten to a point now, Santa.
Don't blame me for that.
No, I know. No, I'm not blaming you. You didn't create this.
When mom and dad and little one says, "Can I have an iPhone?" My answer is, "We don't do electronics. I'll talk to them." That's what we do. So anyway, forgive me. This matters, as you can tell.
No,
go ahead.
So I've gotten to the point now where it's almost hard to believe what you read on social media. So I read a rumor the other day, and I need you to either dispel it here or confirm it if you can. Is there actual discussion on setting up another location in the South Pole, or is that all just rumors that I got?
You joke.
Okay, yeah, I see. This is what I've been reading.
You joke. It started about 3 years ago.
Okay.
I got a question from a little girl. You ought to ask me about some of the questions I get. I got a little girl who came up and said, "Santa, where will you live when the North Pole melts?"
Oh, no.
They're not dumb. And they know that big businesses are planning to move inland because, the
exactly
on the coast may not be there in 10 years.
Right.
Where will Santa live when it's open sea ice all year? So the answer, oddly, is yes.
So you have been talking about it. Wow.
Antarctica is on rock. The Arctic is ice. It'll melt. If it melts all the way, all year, where would we go?
Wow.
We're not, the magic comes in giving.
Right.
The magic comes in giving. And that doesn't necessarily protect you all the time from misfortune. That's why you see good things, bad things happen to good people around you, your neighbors, your families, your loved ones. So what will we do when the water rises? That's a very good question. And the answer is I don't have the first clue. I've got December coming up, and, but I've got people thinking about it for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to ask about, thank you for telling me that actually not everything I read on social media is false. So there's some truth to,
some people say I don't exist. And that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
those
fine.
People. That's okay.
Yes, I exist in everyone if you really want to know.
There we go. I love that. Let's talk a little more about kind of the workforce and the culture, which we had just talked about.
Sure, certainly.
How do you keep people motivated? Right? How do you keep the elves motivated? Are you giving them, is it cocoa? What's the motivating factor that's constantly pushing them to want to succeed and get to Christmas Day every year?
I think it's what you said a few minutes ago. It's culture.
It's culture.
Yeah, because when you're really part of a culture that you think matters, that makes a difference,
that's it.
That can change lives, you pursue it with a passion. And you can tell, there's some people who show up and it's just a job. And then there are other people for whom it is
everything.
Yeah. And sometimes we all have positioned ourselves when we have sacrificed too much. And that's when we need to learn to delegate. And I have a lovely bride who reminds me of that on a frequent basis. and she's right, of course. But that's the best part of it. If you talk to actors, they'll tell you the best thing you can be in that field is a generous actor. Huh?
Yeah.
So isn't that true in The Office Place or anywhere else?
Yeah.
So in terms of compensation and things like that, they are actually paid.
The reindeer are paid?
No, the reindeer. Well, of course, the reindeer are paid
Okay.
in lichens and carrots.
I was going to ask you the carrots, but the elves?
And may I say, specifically peeled baby carrots.
That's what they
They
like
are
the best?
spoiled to tears.
Baby
The
carrots.
elves and all of our engineers and all of our designers and all of our artists, it's no different than...
They're paid.
Yes, and if it wasn't already stolen by Walt Disney, I'd have a sign on every parking spot that says Imagineer, because that's what they are.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah.
And so performance bonuses? Absolutely.
Well, and I think that's very creative, an opportunity for a lot of leaders and a lot of business leaders, because it doesn't always have to be, yes, I mean, of course, who doesn't need a bump in the paycheck?
Right,
Everyone does.
Right.
I mean, these are people who need to send their kids to college and feed their families, and we don't charge. We have a PX.
Right.
I mean, the food's good.
It's really good.
Oh, boy. Mrs. Claus can cook and coordinate. I don't know how she gets 500, 600 meals ready all at once.
She's cooking for everybody?
Not everybody, but
Okay.
if you've ever been on like a film set or something
Right,
like
right,
they have
yeah.
a commissary.
Right,
and
right.
Woof, it's better than anything you've ever seen in Hollywood or
That's,
wherever.
of course.
So anyway, we're going through all this process, and you try to. I forgot what in the world did you ask me?
Performance bonuses.
Performance
Yes.
bonus. Well, when you think to yourself, okay, I've got to stretch this number
Right.
thin.
Right.
Okay, what can I do to engage my people that shows that I appreciate who they are? Can I add the child care? Can I give them? It sounds silly, but can I do trips?
Right. Yeah.
Can I take us all in a couple of buses to someplace one weekend and, everybody come and bring your spouse? Can I think like that?
Oh, that's fun.
And I think this is a huge thing, and I really do believe this. I think, unlike most of us in this business, or any business where you deal with large numbers of people, I think meetings are incredibly valuable, and I think face-to-face meetings are best. And not always on campus.
Right.
But there's something about, and you don't have to discuss business.
Right.
Just get together.
It's everything.
Bond. I know that even Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis didn't hang out together away from the camera. But Rowan and Martin didn't either. Abbott and Costello didn't either. On camera, it was there. Away from the camera, they were. But I think in what we think of in corporate terms, think of that word.
Right.
It means the body.
Right.
So I think that body has to have membership, and I think the more often you can have membership with each other, the better your corporation will be.
I love that. I mean, because when I think about logistics, right? I mean, you are, you hear about AWS, you hear about Amazon, they're a logistics company, but there's really, you're running the largest logistics company in the world by far.
Well,
right?
sort of the U.S. Army, I think.
Right? I mean, without a doubt. How in the world do you manage? Because you've got to think about risk, you've got to think about disruptions, you've got to think all of these other ancillary things that occur. How do you counterbalance all of this when you're thinking about creating an effective logistics company? Because that's essentially what this is, right?
Imagination.
Okay, lots of it. Okay.
Imagination is what makes you put a fire extinguisher in your house. A good imagination is what makes you put 4 in there. I can't tell you how many. One of the most heartbreaking things that Santa ever sees is when he rolls up on a house that 2 days earlier contained a happy family writing me notes, and someone left a space heater on. So you think ahead. Yeah. Right? And you wish people had, and there's a point at which you'd like to do it for them, but you can't go back. And I think that imagination, anticipation is, Carly Simon, making you wait. I know, but at the same time, it is. You couldn't be a good surfer, skier, or anything else if you didn't kind of look down that hill a bit and realize what's coming. And the better you are at doing that, identifying employee needs. Back to what we were just talking about a minute ago. It's interesting to me that if you go back to the Old Testament of the Bible, new fathers got a whole year off.
Interesting.
Before they went back to work.
Is that
a whole
right?
year. Now, it wasn't to teach the baby.
Right.
It was to teach the father.
Very interesting.
How better to learn about
raising a child.
Jehovah, Yahweh. So it's you think about that. Where are our priorities? So if you make people the priority, if you make their interests, their values, what they want to do, how they want to express their art, how they want to show the world they're there, If you make that important to you, they will make whatever you want to do important to them.
It's thinking about the future. I mean, I think about in our business, we've got to do the same thing, right? You anticipate the unanticipated, right? And so if you can do that consistently over time, it's creating just like stress testing everything that you do. We do this with financial plans all the time, Santa, right? So we're saying,
you're not just doing financial plans. That's the funniest thing about it, is that if we really analyze what it is we do, someone who is in home building is making a home.
Right. Right.
Someone who is in financial planning is helping build a life, a future. So it sounds different when you say it like that.
I like that.
And all of a sudden it's like, and there comes the motivation, the sense of community, and why this is more important than just, if you do auto mechanic work, if that's what you do, you have an auto shop, you know, if you're a good one, that if that machine is not precisely tuned, it's unsafe. And so it is not going to leave your shop unless it is.
Right. Exactly.
It is your word, and your word is who you are. And that's your business, and that's your, as an adult and a parent, a citizen, a fellow human being, and if we identify that, it works for us in very lucrative ways. It actually does, because I've seen people cut their creative budget and things like that, and that's exactly the thing that they should not do. Right? Maybe they just don't spend as much next year, but at the same time they say, okay, I've got state fair tickets for you.
Right. Right.
And I'm going to make sure that when we do get back this way, right? And so we have had rough years. It's not always easy to get materials.
Have you ever come close to having to ground an operation for a particular year?
World War II.
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah.
And a couple of times, kind of in the Cold War, actually, if you want to get down to it, because it was edgy. It's a bit edgy now. Yeah. It's a bit edgy now. Did you know the song, Do You Hear What I Hear? Know the song?
Yeah, of course.
Think of the lyrics. With a tail as big as a kite. The authors of that song, composers of that song, were husband and wife. The husband, and his name escapes me, and this is embarrassing, but the husband had actually been a resistance fighter and a double agent during World War II in Europe. He had been wounded during combat. He was fighting against the Nazis. The Nazis did not know that. He thought he was one of ours. He was actually fighting for the French. After the war, he came to America, and he and his wife, who had been a music student, he had been too, were married. And one night, he's walking home. The label had demanded a Christmas album, and we need it now. Well, it was 1963, and it was the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Right.
And so you want me to write a Christmas song, and nuclear war is about to start this week. And so, 62, excuse me. And so he's walking behind a woman pushing a carriage, and he sees a little baby in there, and he got home later, and he says, I saw this child in there, and it looked as innocent as a little lamb. Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you hear what I hear?
That's awesome.
The tail as big as a kite is a description of the exhaust plume of an ICBM.
Really? I didn't know that.
Most people don't. Every Christmas song, every holiday song has a story behind it. Some of them you would not believe. Jingle Bells is a drinking song.
Is that really?
It is. It really is. Back in the day, young men would go wrecking down the street in their carriages, one-horse open sleighs, to impress the ladies as they strolled along the boulevard, toasted out of their gourds. And and upsot. They would get upsot. Right? And so that was a drinking and driving song. And people today just, jingle bells, and they're singing a drinking. I mean, that's a drinking and driving song.
Oh, my gosh.
We don't know, right?
Right, exactly.
Hallelujah, the Handel's Messiah, the Hallelujah chorus was written for Easter.
Really? Wow.
Fabulous stories.
Yeah,
the little drummer boy existed.
Did he really?
He was not a drummer. He was a tumbler named Bartolome. To some, Barnaby to others, but he was a poor street entertainer. And he went to a monastery. St. Bernard was the abbot, and he knocked on the door, and they let him in. He couldn't speak Latin, couldn't do the Mass. The only thing he could do was go downstairs and tumble and juggle and there was a statue of the Virgin Mary. And one day the friars went, he's not in Mass, he's down there. And so Bernard of Clairvaux goes down and looks, and there's Bartolome rolling around on the floor. And just as they're about to hang him up to dry, they look up and they see the statue smiling. Then she smiled at me.
Yeah, of course.
And an American author named Catherine Kennicott, a school teacher named Catherine Kennicott, knew that story and adapted it from Jongleur, Les Jongleurs de Notre Dame, the juggler of her Blessed Mother, to the little drummer boy.
Very cool.
So there actually was. Drummer boy. There actually was. And a friend of mine the other day was suggesting, have we ever discussed or written a story about what it might have taken to get Jesus to go to sleep on that first night?
Right.
I've never even thought of that.
No.
I mean, oh my word, because I didn't come until later.
Right.
People have these pictures of me kneeling at the crib. Oh my goodness.
No.
Now the principle that I operate on is still there, but I wasn't.
Right.
The gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Right.
If you've seen the Nativity story, it is one of my. Oscar Isaac plays Joseph, and Karen Hines plays Herod. Oh my God! And Whale Rider, I just went completely blank, plays Mary. It's on the same set where they filmed the Passion.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
It nails it, and the meaning of those three gifts. The gold bought their way out of Herod's grasp. So that principle of saving people by giving already existed.
Even then,
I rode the coattails.
I love it. Something I've thought about since I was a kid, right? I'm finally going to get the real answer.
Okay. Yes.
What does it take to get on the naughty list? Right? Because
there is no naughty list.
Is there no naughty list?
Never has been.
Real? Okay.
No.
Dispel this rumor that
Well,
we as parents tell our young children.
It is.
You're not good.
It is nothing but puerile, rank misinformation.
Okay, it's misinformation.
To coin a phrase.
I'm so glad.
No. If you think about it for a minute, show me an 8-year-old who's not a bit naughty.
Well, I can't think of a 9-year-old.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? It's not when they're 10; it's when they're 40. Right. If they're still naughty,
right?
Because don't get me wrong, I could put plenty of adults on a naughty list. I mean, seriously. Remember, I did carry an axe. I am not hesitant to use it. And so, but the idea that a child, very often the child is the idea of a child born. Oh, you were bad.
Right.
Why would you do that? Oh, what you did, that wasn't good. We need to work on that. Okay, you got to stop.
Right.
But you're bad?
Or naughty.
Or naughty?
Right.
Or dirty?
Right.
Or other?
No.
No, I can't. No. And so, it's like, you want to see a list?
Yes, I'd love to see the list.
I haven't got anything on this one, but I carry it with me all the time. This is basically it.
That's it.
That's about it. Yes, I keep a pencil with me, and I just write down. And you know why? I've met all the American presidents, and the best ones always took care to remember people's names. And what they did, most of them, the only one I know who didn't was Jimmy Carter. He just loved people so much he didn't need to write the name down. But George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, lots of people, or had someone nearby who would make sure that's Bob, would write it down.
Right.
And 6 months later, you'd either get a letter or you'd run into him and, hello, George, good to see you. Glad to, you just, oh my, how do you remember my name?
Right.
Now mine, of course, Nicholas, my name is easy to remember.
Right.
But you would see that, and it was because they took care. And so when you make it real, Matthew McConaughey, when you make it real, and that's what you do when you write it down. So it becomes real. And so when a child tells me I think one of the big gifts I remember in the 60s was the Johnny Astro and things like that, but it sticks.
Right.
Because you put the name
with
it down. And so it's nothing complicated. And it's really kind of fun because when you do it and you say, you want me to see you put your name in the list?
Right.
And then I say, there's no naughty list. Like I said, the questions you get are heartbreaking. One I got not long ago was a little 10-year-old. No, 9, sorry. And I said, what do you wish for Christmas? And she said, Santa, I wish to not be alone. Oh. What do you say? And the only thing you can relate to, okay, I lost my parents. I know what that's like. I have to ride that sleigh behind a bunch of reindeer butts all night long. That made her laugh. But the thing you as a owner, business operator, just let those people know they're not alone. Yeah. That if we just did that,
you're not alone.
It's Christmas all year.
I love that. Do you watch Christmas movies?
Oh my word, I don't miss them. Oh, I'm a sucker for them all.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
There's so many. I mentioned I can't talk suddenly. Yes,
yes.
I can't talk. The Nativity Story. It was fantastic, beautifully done. I think they got just about everything right. I love the Christmas Chronicles.
Yes. Oh, that's
Who wouldn't like to be played by Kurt Russell?
That's so good.
And Goldie Hawn too. And by the way, Mrs. Claus noticed that, and I had to. Yeah,
she liked that.
She's lovely, but she's not you, my dear. And I meant
so
it.
Great.
Oh, she's the most. My friend, it's Christmas every day for me. People wonder why I do it. It's because I've had it done for me. But my favorite Christmas movie. That's a tough one. I love It's a Wonderful Life. I love every version of Scrooge. I think my favorite is the one with George C. Scott.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Classic.
And, Charles Dickens poured out so much of himself into this and his pain for humanity, and it's so important to listen to that now, which is why I think my favorite one of all is a film called Joyeux Noël.
Okay.
And it's about the Christmas truce in World War I, Christmas truce of 1914. And in the movie, the way it's told, and it's not precise, but it's close enough. But in the movie, the way it's told is that one Christmas Eve, the English armies are over there, and the armies of the Kaiser are back here. And somewhere on some side of the line, someone starts singing Adeste Fideles in Latin, and you see a German officer coming out carrying a Christmas tree. And someone in the Scottish French grabs the pipes and starts playing harmony with it. And then before you know it, and then the real story and the actual history, they all left the lines, and for 4 or 5 days they played soccer.
Really?
Yeah. The Scotsmen in their kilts in the middle of no man's land, the Germans in their little spiky helmets, the Brits in their wash bowls and that sort of thing. And they shared chocolate and provisions from home and all of that sort of thing. And then after 3 or 4 days, they started killing each other again. And in the movie, the people who decided to go to the middle of the battlefield and actually do what we actually worship this time of year or celebrate, were all court-martialed.
Really?
And there's a scene where a chaplain says, I know it would be nice to follow the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ, but my boy, this is war. That's my favorite film.
Wow.
Because that's why I'll always have a job.
Yeah. Okay, so you said always have a job. I've always thought about this. We talk a lot about succession planning in our business, right? Okay,
interesting, isn't it?
So tell me, because there have been movies like the Santa Claus and other things of that nature. Tell me succession planning. Is that something you think about?
Every solid minute.
Okay.
But not for the reason you think.
Okay. Do you have a financial advisor or need one? We can help with this retirement
I've always
plan.
needed one. Her name is Mrs. Claus.
Okay,
Listen, I was a bishop who took a vow of poverty. Can you imagine the licensing? Coke got it. Coca-Cola owned my image and still does, for all I know.
It's true.
Believe me, I'm not doing this for the slick getaways and the world cruises. It's not that at all, my friend. No. I did it again. What did you say?
Succession planning.
Succession
plan. Will you do this for how long will you do this?
Ever. You're my succession plan.
Okay.
You.
Yes.
Everyone. Everyone's my succession plan. I have successors every year.
Yes.
As if what I do necessarily would end with me.
No.
It never will. And so you're my succession plan.
I love that.
And it's, there's nothing as well. When you mentor someone and you see it take off, your heart just gets so big, you think it'll pop. And then it happens again, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Who wouldn't want to wake up and go to work doing that every day? It's my job.
I love that. Santa, this has been amazing. I would have never thought when I was a kid that I would have the opportunity to sit down with Santa.
Well, I had a feeling. Listen,
questions.
I had a feeling.
Did you know this was coming, by the way?
No, but I had my eye on you, and I've always done that. And I understand that you have not forgotten that you did not get an easy bake oven in 1995.
It's true.
You did get the creepy crawly oven.
I got the creepy crawler one, yes.
You got the creepy crawler one. And as you know, there's a certain magic in wealth and finance and financial planning that involves you having to cook up things. Like, let's put this with this and this and this and this.
Exactly.
And oh, look, it's a rubber spider. And it's fun.
Yes.
And so that's basically, I think, where, no man wearing this jacket missed out on the easy bake oven.
You know what? I love and here's the deal.
You are a creative man, my friend.
I love food.
Yes.
I love cookies.
Sweets.
I love sweets. That's my thing. But
tell me. Go ahead.
Understand.
Go.
But when you gave me the creepy crawler oven,
I know.
You know what I ended up doing?
What?
I ended up making those creepy crawlers. This is no joke. and I would sell them at school because I would put them on pencils. I would sell them. And I ended up having a little business of selling creepy crawlers.
I remember this.
Even at a young age.
Oh,
I took
my
that
goodness.
as an opportunity. So thank you.
Entrepreneurship is alive.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I must tell you that I do feel partially responsible for that, even if you won't credit me. I don't hesitate to claim it myself.
I love it.
But
yes,
I don't want you to miss out on the experience, because one form of creation is another.
Yes.
You might as well have been making cookies. In fact, you're baking cakes for families all over the place right now.
There we go.
Cakes that involve their future and security and feeling confident and not having to, believe me, when you have to visit as many people as I do. So, you've got a 2.5-year-old daughter, am I correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Well, I brought you a starter kit.
No way.
I did.
You're kidding me.
I did. You can
That
make
is so awesome.
mini cupcakes as soon as she's able to stir a bowl.
That is the greatest thing ever. That is so awesome. Thank you very, very much.
Now, and in return, the name of your tailor.
Yes, hey, no problem. I'm going to have one made for
Oh,
you.
no,
and
no,
send
no,
even
no,
better.
no, don't do that.
Even
no.
better, you know?
No, I have to, there's a lot of fabric. I'll have to pay for that.
Santa, you're the man.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you
very
so much.
kind.
This was
Very
such a
kind,
blast,
Christopher.
and I
Thank you.
so much appreciate you taking time.
Anytime. I look forward to seeing you in, let's see,
was gonna
October,
say.
November, 3 months?
A few months.
3
Exactly.
months.
Yes. Best of luck this Christmas.
Oh, it's always luck.
Hey, thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.